associate with you if you're fat. That's when it matters, because who you hang around with truly does impact.
I think she thinks it's catching. Back in 2007, there was this study that showed essentially that being friends with fat people or being related to fat people increased your chances of being fat yourself. And after that, there was this panic about the obesity epidemic and how you shouldn't hang out with fat people because that would make you more likely to be fat. So the idea that it's catching is not new. But what no one ever seems to consider is that maybe the reason that fat people are more likely to be friends with other fat people is because other fat people are less likely to judge us and be bigoted and not want to associate with other fat people because they are that freaking afraid of looking like us. Honestly, it's kind of hilarious to me because imagine being so afraid of being fat that you literally convince yourself that by being around fat people, you'll become fat by osmosis. But let's be real, being fat may not be catching, but social ostracization sure is.
I purposely don't associate with obese people either, but not solely because they're fat. I don't associate with weak people, which obese people are.
Well, to be honest, what Fish Lips is saying has some truth to it. I struggled with weight most of my life, and my friends adopted my love of food.
And I must say the contrary can happen too. If you're fat and spend a lot of time with someone who has a really healthy lifestyle, you could lose weight by being influenced to a healthier lifestyle. And I must say again, it depends why you took weight at first.
These same girls get mad when these girls lose weight.
And yet you cannot snap your fingers and lose 500 pounds or 300 pounds or 100 pounds or 50 pounds. And that doesn't even begin to acknowledge the people who are that size because of a disability that either causes weight gain or prevents weight loss. And if you can acknowledge that those things are true, why would you not want to fight for things to be a little bit easier for those people? Because whether or not it's a desired outcome or it's a good thing, fat people exist. People who are 600 pounds exist. Disabled people who become fat because of their disability exist. Not every fat person who is 500 or 600 pounds is that size because they have a binge eating disorder. And even if they had a binge eating disorder, that doesn't make their fatness their fault.
Instead of listening to people who have nothing better to do than spend all day every day shitting on fat people, why not listen to the words I actually said? Because I use the words I use intentionally.
Someone who's 600 pounds would definitely say yes for both reasons.
Why do you act like people don't observe the world around them?
Some audacity to possibly believe you can speak for someone else.
If we left people with EDs keep making decisions for themselves without helping them, we would be living in a more fucked up world.
But it's not your body who decides your weight, it's actually your brain who is deciding. Most of people needs to do an effort to not get fat.
You think our ancestors had to think about how much they ate? No, it's called intuitive eating.
Our ancestors couldn't order junk food from the coach, and used to have a more active life. You can't compare us with our ancestors.
I am that size, I would press that button. Because being this size in a completely inaccessible world sucks. I cannot lose weight, it's not my fault.
I don't have a victim mindset. I have a genetic mutation. My brain is wired wrong. I have been told by a doctor I can't lose weight without surgery.
Yes, thyroid problems do exist, but it's going to make you 600 fucking pounds. Thyroids only really go to 10 to 30.
Those that are using BED as justification, because it's a disability, BED should be treated. BED is not a healthy lifestyle.
The Whale is a fat-phobic film about a man trying to eat himself to death. And whenever I've made a video about it and referencing that they shouldn't use a fat suit, no film should use a fat suit, one of the comments that I get is, well, they had to use a fat suit because there are no 600-pound actors. Well, number one, I'm certain there are out there 600-pound actors, but they don't get a lot of work because people use fat suits.
Name one 600-pound actor.
Acting is an extremely strenuous job with long hours. Hiring an actor 600 plus pounds could have added thousands of unnecessary costs and accommodations.
Maybe these potentially hypothetical 600 pounds actors don't get hypothetical roles because they hypothetically suck.
If you are mad about this amazing movie, grow up, and that's coming from someone half your age.
Everything I don't like shouldn't have been made.
Who cares, bro? It's a movie.
But ignoring that, completely ignoring that, and completely ignoring the fact that this film shouldn't have been made in the first place, ignoring the fact that the play shouldn't have been made in the first place, you realize that they could have just had Brendan Fraser with his extra couple of pounds, and audiences today would have believed he was eating himself to death. Any actor of any fatness could have played that character, and audiences would have believed he was eating himself to death, because our media tells us that fat people are dying because they're fat. And there is no distinction between levels of fatness in our culture. It's if you're fat, you're killing yourself. So there was no reason for them to have to use a fat suit.
I don't think I quite get what people find so offensive about this movie, or why they think Brendan Fraser shouldn't act in it.
Also, sorry, the idea that actors can only play themselves negates the whole point of acting.
Your inner self-hatred is showing.
Y'all are so chronically online. OMG, this video is so cringe. Name one 600-pound actor that is as good as the original actor.
They used a heavy lady in Who's Eating Gilbert Grape, and she was awful.
How do you define fatphobia? And if there are people who are fatphobic, why does your opinion matter more than theirs? Just trying to learn. I think you don't understand. Acting isn't about body weight. It is about being able to show your emotions, and Brendan was the best to do it.
Have to use a fat suit to show a 600-pound character, or even to hire a 600-pound actor. They just had to hire a fat person, and they could have told the story they wanted to tell, as fatphobic and horrible as it was.
Going through the whole script is crazy. Why are you so mad at a fat suit that don't hurt anybody?
'Cause all you can do is complain, bruh, you taking shit too deep.
Go outside, touch some grass.
Like, for real, it's a damn movie. No one 30 years ago would have cared, not even fat people.
Fucking cry about it. Jesus Christ, people just look for reasons to be offended. It's called acting. I'm fat as fuck and I'm 0% offended.
I think you are the only one that has a problem with this movie.
Wow, you missed the whole message. Read more, guy.
Are you saying this story should never be told, fatsuit or no? Is it fatphobic to show someone eating themselves to death?